Okay, so we're going to talk about conjugation today. So in order to talk about conjugation, hopefully this is somewhat of a review. We need to know what conjugation is. So conjugation is changing a verb to match the subject to say who does something and when it's done. Okay, if I go too fast, just pause the video as we go. So changing a verb to match the subject to say who does something and when it's done. So in order to conjugate a verb, we need to know how to conjugate a verb. So that's what conjugation is, but how do we conjugate it? So the first step is take off the ending. And then the second step is add the correct ending. Okay, so over here there's two parts to a verb. Okay, there's the stem and there's the ending. Okay, so when I say take off the ending, this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, so we're going to talk about three types of verbs. Today we're going to talk about AR, ER, and IR. AR verbs are verbs that end in AR, ER verbs are verbs that end in ER, and IR verbs are verbs that end in IR. So let's look at the AR verbs. Like I said, conjugating a verb is saying who does something and when it happens. So what that means is it happens either in the past, the present, or the future. Okay, and this week, or these sets of notes are only going to be about the present tense. Okay, so your endings for the AR verbs, we got o, as, a, amos, ais, and on. Okay, so those are the endings. So down here at the bottom, we want to conjugate the verb hablar, which means to talk. So whenever we conjugate our verb, okay, remember our first step is to take off the ending. Okay, so we took off the AR. That's our ending. So that leaves us with HABL all the way down, right? So we know that we're talking in the present tense. Now we need to make it say who does the action. So for example, we want to say I talk, okay? So I take off the AR and then I add the right ending, which is O, okay? All right, then you have you talk, which is AS. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and finish out the next 4. All right, so then the next one, he talks, would be habla. We talk would be hablamos. Okay, y'all talk. There's 2 options here. We have habláis. Okay, remember that's only in Spain, or hablan. Okay, that's going to be the more common one. All right, they talk. Oops, hablan. Somehow my L got erased. Okay, so that is AR verbs. Let's go over to ER verbs. Okay, ER verbs are going to have different endings. Okay, so we have O, S, E, emos, that's an E, eis, and N. Okay, so let's look at the verb to eat. Okay, so if, for example, I want to say Sarah and John eat. Okay, so I would say Sarah y John. Okay, Sarah and John eat. I've got comer. Okay, remember you take off your ER, you add the correct ending, which would be comen. Okay, if I want to say Bob and I eat pizza. Okay, Bob y yo, Bob and I. Okay, to eat is comer pizza. Okay, but to say who does the action, I take off my ER and I'm going to add EMOS. Bobby y yo comemos pizza. Okay, and then the last set is the IR. Okay, we've got yo, which is O, S, E. Okay, these two are the only ones that change. Imos, is, and en. Okay. All right. So same thing. Conjugation stays the same. So if I want to say, for example, you open the door. Okay. So you is tú. Abrir la puerta. Okay, now we have to conjugate abrir. So we're going to take off our IR. For you, it'd be ES. Abres la puerta. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Go ahead and do the practice. On the practice, make sure that you are understanding. Understand the paragraph. I know that shows you the answers. Understand the paragraph while you're filling in the answers, and that will really help you with this subject. So what you need to do after that, we've got the practice. We've got a set of homework today. So if you don't understand the practice, definitely hop on Google Meet or email me. And then if you do understand the practice, then you can go ahead and do the homework portion of the numbers from today, which is reviewing conjugation. If you need to review it more, you can do the conjugation races. If not, the scavenger hunt you won't be able to do. If you need more practice, email me and I'll get you more practice. If you feel confident, go ahead and do the homework from today, which is 9/30/2020. Do the homework from today's numbers and then fill out the Google form, and that should catch you up. Okay, you'll have